My network sends to retry. Okay, so let me just try this. Mobile hotspot. Okay, let's see. Liking myself, so if you're seeing all these likes that are going up here, right? Look at that. Look what they did, eh? Does anybody see this? Does anybody see this? I'm going to wait till somebody shows up. Does anybody see what's going on? Sitting on a park bench, bum ba bum. Sitting on a park bench, bum ba dum. How unique. Oh, the bricks. Right? We have the bricks, the angles, or the ley lines across the globe. So now the question is, why is it across the globe? Why is like Saturday, like there was Saturday TV. Is it? Why do I write Saturday, Tear Day, and now they want and they say it is Saturday, Saturday. It's okay. We did 84 years in Uranus cycle, and that would be 7 by 12. And I want to know who the ruler is in 7 by 12. How am I coming in right now? Can you hear me? When I'm scribing, I don't like to interrupt myself and think about anybody. Okay, not even myself. Okay, I am just a portal of the thought that comes within inside my mind of everything that's ever been shared on this planet. If you say one phrase, sentence, if you show up in front of me and I look at you and I categorize you in one of the possible 16 personality traits other than how you look, but how you walk, right? How people over time, using their own mouth with the air they breathe to keep the heart beating, to keep the mind working on their own and not against anybody, but just observe and know the difference. Oh, I'm sorry, you rolled a 6-2. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't look at us as humans. Do you want to look at us as humans? Let's look at the flower at the end of the tree. I want to see how the roots, how the seed, before the seed came to be. And if something came to be before, then you have letters in the alphabet that were here before we ever were. So the alphabet for us should never have, or if it does have, it's starting from a negative or a positive side. Either we're to the negative or the letter is to the negative. Something is somewhere, or maybe something is everywhere. And when you divide it up, your first division is by 3. When you have a division by 2, it is in between where the heartbeat comes in. The third will be the heartbeat. It'll be the beat above and the beat below. And then you'll get that very good flow. It'll be that flower of life that keeps you living, keeps you ticking. And every single part and every single connection, right, creates another flower. And to reach out, right, to the 9 realms of the 9 realms of the 9 realms. Of the 9 realms of the 9 realms of the 9 realms of the 9 realms of the one realm that flows between all these realms. Why did I say so many of them? Well, first for the Trinity and then for the Quadrafour, right? If one goes between 2, creating 3, then what can you have less than 3 will be less than, and what is it put together to create what is 3 so we can communicate to beyond. And if you had a mirror of what is 3, that would be 6. So 6 would be twice of what 3 is, and 3 would be the half of 6, making a half-life with the one spirit connect. They tell us when we play football, and I even see it on the house right now, wow, the Father Stone comes between the Aries, divides the bricks above the window that divides the Trinity on one half of the world. Let me show you this. Check it out. It's up here, right there. Let me see if I can get the pen. The brick, okay, is right there. That's the brick. Then when it comes out down here. See, for it takes the operation of the complete house. Here, operation room, operation room. Here you get into the room, the generator. Goes into the Trinity, goes right up. Remember, these are stickmen. Stickmen are the in-between area space and the area space occupied. What will that area space be? It'll be one, okay? Are you on the 1 yard line, the 10 yard line, the 15, the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50? All of a sudden you're on the other side of the sun, right? How did we come in? Now we see the windows and the shades, how everything crisscrosses through the bricks. And now we're walking through the tulips. The tulip, a different kind of flower. Tulips. A straight line, right, in a ruler. Here's a straight line in a ruler. The thing is, right, my question is, when I'm doing an eye test, this is the way I see the ruler coming up. So they sort of like, in the house of bait, going to be verbatim? I do not know. It's a word. Verbatim. So when I have batten, does anybody know what batten is? So when you go play baseball in the little leagues, they have like different levels. So batam is part of the amateur sport. Amateur. It's an amateur. It's a juvenile. See, we have to be careful with all our words, right? Words want us to talk about it on here. It gets close to their narrative, so they made them become bad words. Where's George Carlin when you need him for the bad words? I'm going to the can. What, you're going to throw out garbage? Garbage, no more use. Not categorize our garbage. So when you go to the washroom, everything from what ate before you, what breathed the air, what breathed in the air that gave it sustainable life to become the flower that it is. Different kinds of flowers, different kinds of birds. Have you ever said the word flower? So anyways, my question in this, if I had to straighten this out, my question would it be, this is my question. Which would do this and which one would do this, Marky? I'm going to tell you why, right? And I'm going to do this one here. I'm going to redo these. Here's your eyes. And I have to figure out, diamonds are forever. Okay, diamonds are forever. And those are your eyes. And, oh yeah, okay, yes, because of the coal. The diamonds and the coal and the snowman. For me, this window you were in, you've entered into the room where the alphabet speaks dimensions through the equations, through the math, through the games, through everything that was ever spoken from my eyes, heard by my ears. And my ears are very special because I know I listened to the Piano Man the other day. Let me see if I can find the Piano Man. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. I don't want to do that. I want to do the here it is. Let me see where the Piano Man is. I'm not getting a good signal. I'm wondering if you are. Okay, here it is. Here it is. It's this one here. Hold on, they let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Just give me a second. Let me see. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? I'm coming. Here I am. Hallelujah. Save the soul. Save the soul who brings on the spirit. Bring on the dog. There you go. Indigo. Chase me down. Find me somewhere. Break everything. Come on, let's go. Hey. Whoa, under the table. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, where was I? That's not what I wanted. Hold on a second. About the snowman. So yeah, we'll turn this around here. Okay, so when you bring the eyes of coal together, right, you're gonna do this. And when you do this, whoop, I don't have a very good, we run up this way, we run this way, and we run this way. Then we run this way, then we run this way, then we run this way, right? Almost looks like we're designing a cat within the pumpkin, right? Here, this becomes the hexagon, right? It can also be the hedron. Messages from beyond. The mother of the dog speaks, the dogs quieten down. The master speaks. They listen, and they are off. The master only speaks when needed. The dogs immediately. You know, dog, I want to know, is it D? Is it D? Oh, my pen is not doing so good. Yeah, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I got to go. Water? No, you need vinegar. Yeah, coming back. Sorry about that. Thank God it's my life. Oh my God, you guys are just. Can we do a little show? Can we put on a show like a dog show? Can we put on a dog show? We should put on a dog show, you know? Where can everybody see? Are we on this side? Come here. Let's go. I don't have a cookie for you, but I know if I say the word, you come here in a minute. But I'm not saying it again. Okay. Oh my God. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Where's the other one? Here they are. Coming here. There they are. Here they are. Wherever. I don't know. Here they are coming out here. Right? What about me? What about me? Yeah, what about me? Okay, sorry about that. Guys, if you don't settle down, I'm putting you on the other side. Hey, There's neighbors. You know that? There's neighbors. There's neighbors. If you want to fool around, go on the. Okay, it's Monday. If you're not quiet, you're going to go on the other side. You know Monday's work day, okay? Jiminy Crackers, you know. Why am I calling on Jiminy Cricket? You know, why Jiminy Cricket? Anyways, yeah, we were doing this design over here. So this creates the hexagon. These over here, okay, and this hexagon is what, if you take a look at the deck of cards, good morning, everybody. Oh my God, I'm having so much trouble with my pen. My pen, my lifeline to sharing. My voice is not good enough. We need reference. Everybody comes out here, no reference. You know, I sat on a park bench. I looked at the park bench. Did you go see the video on the park bench? Maybe you should check out my video on the park bench and then come back here and watch. I'm going to get another pen because this one's not functioning. And guess what? My sister told me her favorite. The thing is, I ran the miles. This pen has went through 5 books, 400 pages. Even if I ripped them out, still went through 400 pages. Oh, with other pens, it had a dance with another pen. So I had another feeling on my fingertip. But this pen was special. Check it out. You see those ley lines right there? The angles break the 45-degree angle. They show me a conjunction within the hexagon as one goes between two, the association of a chess piece and the angle of the way the queen moves. Right? And at the distance she wants, A and B, 1 and 2. That's all we need to know. After that, it's just a duplication. There's nothing more than one inside the house or a house that goes undivided and it's all within. There is a 12 and a 13. And why do I use these as staple points? 12, in fact, I use 12, 13, and 14. I even take it at par. 3, 4, and 5. And there's no eagles, right? There's no eagles on a par 3. Think about it. How Trinity works if there's no eagle on a par 3 or an eagle turns into a hole in 1. Eagle turns into a hole in 1. So you jumped over the 2B, ended it from 3C into 1A, into the cup. You went into the cup. Wow. You went into the cup. Oh my God, Goyish cup. Went into the cup. Does anybody know? I shouldn't say that out here because Goyish cup is a Gentiles. I shouldn't say that. But the whole system is a put together. That's what it is. Okay. So when it goes into the cup, the flag was in the cup, but you don't want the flag in the cup when you're putting and you're on the green. So we have to ask all these questions. Take away the pole. Is it because when you're with your own mind, which way does the wind blow? Who decides? Is it nature's way? So when I touch this, it has a different connect. And the connect, if I'm going to connect, I'm going to run those lines right on this pen from 2 over to 9 or 1 over to 8. And if I switch the side, I'll run 2 over to 7, right? And if I switch the side, I'll run 2 over to 9. 2, 7, 9, and 2, 9, 11. And then we do it upside down. I go tick, 8, 3, 11, talk, 8, 1, 9. So now we have 8, 1, 9, 8, 3, 11, 2, 7, not 2, 7, 9, 2, 9, 11. But wait a second. That's not fair. What about number 4? Well, I got 4, 3, 7 and 4, 9, 13. Well, that's not fair. 6 wants to get involved. And 6 is 1.5 times 4 equals to 6, where 9 equals to 1.5 times what is 6 or 3 to 2 to equal to the 9. 3 is 2 to 1. We come into the mirror world in the spirit of 76. That's all this. This Asian house bet. Just give me a minute. Okay, this is close to 2 weeks now. 9, 10 days that I have the this cough. I know exactly where it comes from. What it is, it's a reminder of things. Can I get rid of it? Yes. Yes, you have to perform the technique. Listen to this technique of mind, body, and soul, right? When it comes to the body, okay, you can do all you want. You can think any way you want, but anything you think must remain private. Your actions, okay, will show what your privacy is. Speak not until the action, and that action might come from your mouth, right? Because a thought, right, that is never put into action, because we always have to have all the thoughts. Without having the 360 of thought, you cannot have all your thoughts. Even if you don't know, you need the opportunity to think about it. Because if you're looking at the offense and the defense, you have to know both sides. So I want to know who chose, who was provoked in choosing. If you want to look at human rights and norme de travail, to where things become a little bit more professional under norme de travail, CNEST, or anything in working orders, if you take a look around the world and do a 360 and understand, business is business, professional is professional, amateur is amateur. Okay, by the separation and understanding the difference of the observation, we can understand the algorithms of the house we live in. We can look at them. Is this actually happening or is it not? They do the same thing with the life path. If you can believe the life path and follow the astronomers or the numerologists, etc., etc., even those who do alchemy, astrology, we're all working on the same basis. You can't exclude anything. There is no exclusion. Inclusion means exclusion without saying it. That's why most people come back and say, what about this and what about that? Did you leave it out and forget about it? But you can't tell everybody everything. And sometimes when you had a bad day at work, you can use other words and say, oh, it was a horrible day. You're not going to bring up Halloween, right? Why do I say that? Horrible day, horrors on Halloween, the 304th day of the year, the corridor between 3 and 4, the putting out the conjunction junction with your function, other souls and spirits that lay in front of you, right? And don't forget, it's only 180 degrees of everything. They're the other 180. You can always turn around and walk away. But when they chase you down, how should you respond, right? Nobody wants to start anything that you don't want to get angry. You don't want to choose the wrong words, right? You don't want to have to say anything that the ego comes down and say, mine is, bigger or better, and the 3 is the 6 and the 6 is the 9 and all this. You don't want that, right? This is what has happened. We live in a bipolarity world. We are in the center of the heavens. We can pick and choose as we wish, but at the times we're in right now, right, the core has gotten larger and larger, and we're just going around the merry-go-round, seeing the same thing over and over again. And some of us think it's real, but since I'm very, very young, I never thought many things were real. It made no sense. Nothing made sense. I couldn't calculate it. How can I, when I get onto an airplane, when I've been on an airplane and I've seen it in movies, what's that? Are you leaving? Are you leaving? Okay, I'm just gonna go say just a wave goodbye. You're going to 555 New York, right? The Trinity connection in the Hudson. That's the lights above you. Are you gonna go to the Lincoln Tunnel? Good to see you do the Lincoln Tunnel, right? For Lincoln Park Electric, towards one open, lights up the bridge. George. Oh, I play anything you want, but give me anything you talk about. I got no knowledge. I have to look at the word. Only the word. Well, it's the alphabet. If I say to you, help, why would the letter H turn? H is all that is a P. Okay, sorry about that. I left a minute. Sometimes that happens, right? It's my. I don't really like to do it, but they're going home and the family. I just like it. I just think I was, I'm going to put the background here. I wonder if I have a uh, right. Is that good? Nah, that's not coming up good. Let me change that. Just one second. Can I change that one? Okay, just one second. Let me go here. Oh, yeah, put in the back. Well, those are two Kimmel breads, right? That's what the whole fight is. The fight is to get this Kimmel bread on top of this Kimmel bread. One is the half life, one is the full life. They both have the same connections. And when the Kimmel bread gets connected, this is what gets processed through the center. And then we come out the end through the hoop into the world below, right? These are all basically metaphors of our connection. I'm not really sure what I was talking about. Yes, I was talking about the hexahedron before. So what happens is the space between here is a flat space creating separation. It's a heart space. If the heart space is represented by the nose, okay, it is from two systems, right? We cannot split one. When you split one, you create a corridor or you create what is point 0.5. When you bring the point 0.5 together, because the point 0.5 is together and apart, it's one, it's nothing. It reverberates between the two as your thought processes go on. That's your nose. The nose is the pig. And I need a pen. Oh, let's be a pig pen. Oh my God, that is crazy. That is so crazy. That is so crazy that I just did that. Oh my God, pig pen. Oh my God. Let me see, do I have anything with pigs? Pig is a very high number, 977. So what are these two Kimmel breads? That's the connection. You can either make a Kimmel bread this way, either by taking a 12-inch like this and just going, and then taking it the other side and going, and just a round that you can do. Or you can replicate it and make it two and pull it over. Okay, these alternative or same circle, are there 360 to a circle, or have they planted two stakes in the ground and they found around each stake individually and then went around the two stakes? I saw somebody doing this, and this is what makes an oboloid, okay, by connecting the system this way. So there's a couple of ways to make that circle. The other thing about this is when we do it, one of the gets chopped in half, and that would be, I'm assuming the 260 or 270 or 270 part. 270 is the inspiration creates the O to the third letter, and over the letter creates 5 times this. Is that this is this the story of me? Oh, this another number. The sleep number of the story play a role, right? Of the what in between. In between is HT, not is like and the how did the father become who the father is? Let's say mother. It says father, but it's mother. And the father and the mother. Everything that is on the outside, everything that's on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 8, 7, 4, is part of the mother. Everything that is on the inside, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8 is one of that. And then 1, 3, 9, 7 is another part of it. Do you follow me so far? It's 1 and it's 8, that's all the way around. And then it's 1 and 9, and then everything inside. Or it's 3 and 7, and everything inside. Or it's 2, let me see, 2 and 8. And then what is 5 dividing between 1, 4, 7, and 3, 6, 9? And then it's 4 and 6, what is dividing between 5? What is 1, 2, 3 with 7, 8, 9? To what is 1 and 6, 7, 3 and 4, 7, 2 and 5, 7? To what is 6, 7, 13? 6 minus 7 is 1a. 2 minus 5 is 3c. 8 minus 5 is 3c. 9 minus 4 is 5e. 1 minus 6 is 5e. 6 minus 7 is 1a. 3 minus 4 is 1a. ACE, ace, ace. Lower house, 2, 5, 7. Upper house, 8, 5, 13. 7, 13. The Mayans have put a cross and a division up between 1 and 9, 2 fire signs and 2 air signs, right? The 2 fire signs, Sagittarius, come into Aries. And then we have what is Gemini coming into Uranus, or how about Libra? From what is the beginning, 1 through 6? Virgo, Virgo 71. The egg is 19, 1971, 1791, bringing Mars into the spirit house of 93, Saturn. Saturn has no moon, but they add the moon when they arrive at Uranus, making it 5. Sorry, making it 5 and 2, 7. This one over here is a cardinal sign. This becomes a fixed sign over here. This one is going to hold 2 moons within it. It's what is 4 times 2 Venus. Like I said, it's alpha, beta in creation to the delta angle, 2 times what is Venus. It all ends over here on these 4, A, B, C, D, 10. Anybody heard about the 10 code, the CB code? We still didn't finish the snowman, the eyes of coal, the diamond. We didn't finish about the nose, right? The orange nose, right? What is it? The orange nose, the halfway house, right? Talking about Pluto becoming that dwarf here from 1930 to 2006. All the information is before all of us, every single one of us. If we speak it, I know it, I will show it to you, I will give you reference from where it comes and what story it tells. So you say, does it speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth for what it is, created by man, mankind? Who created man, and what is the air you breathe? You are an operational tool. Your information comes from the breath. I don't know it, but I do know if I take away the R, which is the hyperplane that we live between the 2 park benches, or sorry, the 1 park bench that connects the 2 systems. And how did I say that? I even mix myself up if I don't know the story straight. I just learned it this morning. And we can also use the left and the right hemisphere, and I don't have my pen to keep up with my mind, you know? So the left is L12 and the right is R18. 1.5 times 12 equals to 18. But you tell me, is it 12 o'clock or is it the 18th hour, 6 o'clock? How is that 12 o'clock and that 18 o'clock, right? We come back around to 24 o'clock. So the clock circle is 12. But are there any other clocks? Yeah. I have to write this down. I'm going to get a pen. We're going to talk about The snowman, the eyes, the coal. This story, where you are right now on this channel, it's about games. Do you remember Shrek, right? Do you remember Space Jam? Do you see the tools they used, right, when they brought in Sleeping Beauty? Like if you brought a bear over to my house in the winter, that's okay. If you brought a bear over it sometimes, I know one of the bears is going to be saying, bed's too big, bowl's too small, this is too hot. So I know the bears complain all the time, right? Bears are complaining. And I also know if you bring them in the winter, they're going to be sleeping. They ate too much. You know, first they complain, then they eat. They can't handle it. They got too much spirit, which is alcohol. They go to sleep. They eat. They get spiked. What are they eating? Understanding our animals, how they eat and how they spike in their sugars. Uh, oh, because I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to come Wednesday so I can go to the dentist on Thursday.
Perfect. You know why? Because we forgot. We're not home.
Oh, who's not home?
We're in Boston.
Oh, you're going to the, what? Who's playing?
Sir, so that's amazing. I totally forgot.
Okay, so you want me to stay here Thursday too?
No, I'll be home Thursday, but yeah, Wednesday night's perfect.
Okay,
Thank you. I'll see you Wednesday.
okay. See you Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bye. My sister's going to hold up some pillars today. She supports the System 27 by making corrections in it. I don't want to talk about what is System 27. It's the Brown house. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to 18 and 9. Brown equals to 100. 100 equals to C. C is the third letter in the alphabet. You can have 9 of them. What do you mean I can have 9 C's? Yeah, you can have 9 CC. What do you mean? Has anybody ever heard of the C note? Now write this down. I don't have a pen. Somebody's going to have to remind me. Someone type it in the notes to remind me for later on. A C letter in the Roman numerals is 100. So if you have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, 8, or 900. But when you have this, do you have it all in $100 bills? There's no $200 bill. There's no $300 bill. And you can't go somewhere and say, you know what, I need change. You know, it's 100. So you give them, if you go somewhere and you want to spend 500, if you give them a $500 bill and they give you 100 change, but yet in Monopoly, they have a $500 bill. Roman numerals, they use the D for 500. So now you have 500 and you have 100. So you have C and you have the letter D. So you have a CD. Is that a compact disc? You know what? Did they turn that compact disc into the terabyte for storage? Sleeping like a bear until you need it. It's awakened within my mind. You know, DC, like in Marvel, DC Comics, the marriage, every single letter, okay, every single letter, the way it's connected, it tells its own story. We have to learn about the individuality of every single letter, the dots, the dashes, Morse code, the cat, the dog, the mouse, the rat. Our nursery rhymes, add them in after, right? Rock and roll, right? Rock and roll with your soul. Understand the beat. Learn the rhythm. Why does my hair not curl? Why am I so beige? Why have I been lost? I feel like I've lost my soul, but I can hear it in my ears, but it won't come out anywhere else. But it goes into my ears. I can see it with my eyes. Oop. No. 946, like 546. 540, 586 is that number. 586, 586, 586, 586, 856, 86, 5. Okay, the ocean's at the 7th gate. Okay, the 8 and the 6, they're basically the same, right? The 6 can be found here. The 8 can be found here. The 6 can be found here. And the 8 can be found here. See, the 8's on the outside. There's an 8 on the inside. Now, the thing is, in gematria, when you get up to the point over here, this is where number 7 is reached. When you come down to here, number 1 is here. Number 1 is here, back to 7, down to 1. When you get to number 8, 8 becomes number 6. There is no 8. There is no 9. 10 is reduced to 7, and above is 13 in order to reflect the above and below. This is where the Maya or the Mayan Aztec come in and run the 13 moons in the 7 days a week to match up with the sun. And when the oceans come in, all the oceans do is it's part of the RAM, 512. 5 times 5 times 5 is 1.25. 1.25 days after the 364th, which is 7 times 13 equals to 91, or what is after the 12th moon, or the 336th day, right? Which is what is 12 moons. When you have 12, when you add up 1 through 12, it equals to 78. Add the 13th equals to 91. You add up Sagittarius, bringing the birth, okay, into the divided house of Aries, the ram, right? Have you ever thought about why Mars, R-A-M, ram, backwards, right, has an S at the end for plural? It's the 19th letter, okay, loading up on the Capricorn stone in both houses, connecting the park bench so that you can stand up between the houses. Here is the Capricorn placement stone. When you have a park bench, you put down a stone here, or what they call the cement pad, and a launching pad, and a launching pad over here. On this launching pad, okay, you put the bench. The bench extends from here over to here. You sit on the bench anywhere from here to here. You're on this side of the bench, you're on this side of the bench, you are in the center of the bench. Where do you decide to sit? Have you ever looked where the bench is? Have you ever looked if there's a third leg in the center of the bench? Have you ever looked behind the bench and see much area space that when you are on the bench and you are sleeping on the bench, you have entered into the 2 houses of realm, or what they call REM, sleep, regeneration. M is the letter that joins the bench, where the V for life brings the 2 worlds together, the halfway house, where the B and the D come together. Have you ever studied your calculator? Let's just take it this way. From the 9 dots has only 4 area spaces. Until you crisscross those lines, you do not have anything else. And if you look closely, right, this is a multitude of cubes coming together. There is no center to a cube. What is it about 27? Well, if you're going to have all around above and below, it equals to 26 plus yourself. Listen to this again. If I want above and below, then I will have 1 and 1. If I want on this side and this side, I will have 1 and 1 again. If I want this side and this side, I will have 1 and 1 again. But when I put something like this, when I put something on this side and that side, I create a corner gap, and that corner gap creates the 8 corners of connection. And when you do this, you have the 258 with the 645. That's the core of Rubik's Cube. That's your core of Rubik's Cube. That's the section that has 8. So the core Rubik's Cube has 888. What do you mean? Keep turning it. You turn it, the center is going to be different. Who says I can't turn my phone? You see, they won't let you, or do they? Because guess what? The cat lands on its legs. I mean, always lands on its legs, right? Communication. How communication is achieved. When you take a picture of something in a black box, how is the picture inverted? How is it inverted? How do our ears work? I just asked ChatGPT to write me a song all about what goes on in my ear, right? I want to know what's going on in my eye. So I got to go plug this phone in also. I want to know what's happening in here through ChatGPT. I mean, it's not going to lie. It's just my ear. It's just my eye. It's just my nose. It's just my toes. It's my elbow. It's my heart. So if you find out how they all work and then put one song together, do me all the numerological connections, and you have to dictate what you want to see, right? You want certain, I mean, I already know whatever they show me, I'm going to understand it my own way, because I already know the dictation on this planet. 147, 258, 369. Everything's a division of 7. That's right. Everything has been broken down from 9 into a division of 7, the 7 days a week. Who you are is 6 times 1 and 1/6. Your harmonic runs in the fifths. They run by the horse or the norths. How do I say that? I know how they run the timing in different kinds of games. When it comes to horses, they're running them in fifths of a second. When it comes to hockey, it's 20 minutes at a time with a 2-minute penalty. When it comes to baseball, they now put a clock on the pitcher. which is fantastic. Everybody thinks I don't. I mean, I think it's like a little ridiculous, but you know what? You're holding up the game. We have limited time left over before the numbers go passing. Learning this game. Why are we here? Why? Because we are all the readers. We are picked and chosen, and the schools are chosen out there. You know, when you want to go to a school, who's doing the choosing? Where are you accepted? Where is the pressure coming in this matrix house that we live? Why do I call it a matrix house? Do I believe it? Do I absolutely know it? The algorithm and what the people say and what names they gave to it. I'm just continuing on with what those can understand who speak of it at the moment. You speak of the spirit. You speak of the soul. You speak of the curly hair. You like it, you don't like it. The burnt offerings. I came before you. I like to say out of Africa. I like to say everything from the island, okay, was their island woven in first. Over the time they knew as they wove the islands in that they didn't want to be any part of it. So they separated everything and they gave individuality amongst the islands. Barbados, Cuba, Haiti, the larger islands, okay, Africa, one of the largest islands, came into an understanding and association because of the revelation and what comes together in the communication beneath in Atlantis, where everything comes together for the services of the house. I have to go get a pen. Coming back. Guys, hey, can you not Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Okay, because everybody waited for me, I'm going to show you this here. Let me take off that back screen for a second. Hold on. I don't know how to take off the back screen. Well, it won't come off my back screen. It's funny. Yeah, okay. Okay. Please sit. Wait, we're going to do it this way. Can you go over? Oh, I dropped one. You're sitting? Paw? Okay. You're going to lie down? Go lie down. One at a time, paw. Okay. Two. Okay, lie down. There you go. Now we're going to do one standing up. Here. One come. Oh, that was a freebie here. Ow! Now this one here, hold on, this one here, doesn't matter how you put it in his mouth. Here. And don't, here, you come. This is yours. Ow! You're going to have one, come on. Oh, there you go. Okay, one more each, and now you can go make a poo-poo. Okay. That's so good. That's it? We're done? We're done? That's it? That's it? Fly. Fly. Okay, so what did I do with... Oh my God. This is not funny. Oh, I put it in the bag. Whoop. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, so just give me a second here. I got to look for the pens. Pens. And then what else did I get in here? Let me see what I got in here. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Yes, I remember this. Okay. Hey, no more. I'm going to give you one more. I'm preparing it. I'm breaking it up for you. Okay, let me prepare that cookie for you. It's a very special dog cookie that it's 10 o'clock. It's 3 zeros. How's everybody doing? Right, we're on like a little break now. Why are you so panty and so white? Hey, why is everything so white? Right? Why so white? Okay, you ready for it? Here it is. I got it open. They smell, but it's blue. You know what's funny? My sister yesterday had a pen that was in between this color. And she gave me my schedule for next month, which is at the end of the month. And why are you crying? So the schedule for the end of the month. So my sister wrote it out in blue ink, put it in the photocopier. Photocopier didn't see it. Wrote over it, photocopy wouldn't see it. We have to understand, we don't have to understand anything, but on this channel, I work with real science. If you want to talk about real science, you only get it on this channel. Okay? But what do I talk about? Okay. And we have a lot of hypothesis in leading up to it. Guess what? They put these two hearts together, but they're really not. We don't come together. We come together more or less this and this. This is basically what love is. Look at that. One is bigger than the other. But that's basically what it is. It's never the same size. You know, sometimes there's something passing in between the two. You know, sometimes it's connecting hoses or wires. The association, okay? And it's the marriage, and it's the unbreakable bond of the ring. What is the difference between the ring and the pole? For me, the ring is I put the ring on the pole. The pole is a solid. The ring has a hole in it. Now you can say the same thing. What about a puck or a PCU, which I spoke about before on ice? And this is when we have a solid. This is when we have a solid like this, and the electricity is passing its way on the outside, but nothing else can pass through, but the electricity goes through the whole thing. It's the complete carrier, unlike the hole in the center of the torus field, in which you become that completeness. And we know we get our own throne. We even get our own throne for the passage of all our thoughts, that when you go to what they call the room that you wash, okay, and sit down, and oh, what a bummer. That's right, because everything you thought for the day, Okay, everything you put in here, everything that went in here, everything that went in here, the biggest organ over here goes out. Every thought gets processed, and that's how you feel. That snake inside of you squishing it around. That's why I really think that this esophagus here, right? The snake, it grew a big head. This is the snake's head, right? And just like a worm that goes to the bathroom, it's never at the end. It's just before the end. And if you ever seen the way a fish goes to the bathroom, it's not at the end of the tail, it goes to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? That tail is still like pushing it away, and it's a school of fish. It's a school of fish, so we have to know school and fish. And the kids are the goats. So that's the 8th zodiac sign. Pisces is the 12th zodiac sign. 1.5 times 8 equals to 12. So what is ironic about that, right, is 1.5 times 8 equals to 12. So we skip from 8 into 12, including what is Sagittarius, what is Capricorn, and what is Aquarius. So we're going 9, 10, 11. And that is going to equal what is 19 and 21. The 19th letter S, the 21st letter U, the in-between that connects it all is T. In gematria, that would be 676. So we are going to end up, sorry, I made a mistake, I think before. We're going to end up with Scorpio, with Pisces. And this is a huge association. Huge association. It brings the vibration, okay, of the split house through Scorpio. That's the multiplication of 1.5. In between the bookends of what is 1 and 5, it equals to 15. This is A, this is E, this is O. And O comes up again, right, as 5 and 1 equals to 6. As 5 is E and 1 is A. The house gets split. So if we do it this way, we do it the other way, we go 15, 15, right, as the numeric count. But guess what? Should I count this twice? If I don't, I only get 14. And it becomes part of the house. There's movement to connecting the house. It becomes 1, 4, and 1, 5. And when you split the house, right, you split the house over here. And when you split that house over here, the beginning of pi is 3.1415, 9265, 9265. I don't know what they did with pi, but they created it so it could not be understood. Because I understand it and I see it as a heartbeat. And I have the tools to prove it, and so do you. What it is number 3 and number 4, a corridor going through each other. But we also have to understand that when it's going through the corridor of 5, right, at 3.5, we have to understand that we need our own personal area space from 3.0 to 3.1, in which we need the area space to end, which is at 3.4 to 3.5. And we're going to be living what is 3.2 and 3.3 in between the area space. That when the complete area space meets in between the halfway area space, it becomes 3.35 and then ends at 3.36. And that 3.36 is also equivalent to what is 28 times 12, equaling to 336. And that's the end of the 12th moon. 336. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. 3.5 is the heart of the cube. It runs between 3 and 4. This is why I mentioned it. But we have a whole corridor, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. But the thing about this also to understand is the 4 is on this side, the 3 is on this side. Rubik's Cube has a whole other set of cubes. Every single number is something else because it has 3 rows. So it's showing me down to its finite cell itself. There is no other. It becomes the solid within itself. And now you have to understand all the faces, all the connecting dots. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's been a week. A little more than a week. I don't like it. Today I learned a new word. Somebody talked about the parish, and yeah, I'm gonna finish off with the park bench, and I'm going to get. I had a cup of coffee somewhere, and I'm all alone, and it's somewhere. Yeah, I was talking about the parish, the park bench. So let me finish with the park bench. So when you're sleeping, this is how you cross, right? Now you have the REM, 45 minutes each, right? What can we do at 45? 45 is the numbers clock, right? When you add up 1 through 9, it equals to 45. But you are the one of the 9, and you need your complete area space. But I'm not going to get into that technicality because I've never done that before. I just know it's an absolute. So you have 44 plus 1. And what it is it's 36 plus 8. When you light up the Hanukkah candles, right, on day 1, you light the shamas. Okay, right? I think it's just a shamas. And then on day, I think the shamas and then a candle or whatever that is, right? But the mathematics work out to you light the shamas and then you light a candle and then you light the shamas and then you light 2 candles and then you light the shamas and then you light 3 candles and then you light the shamas and then you light 4 candles. Some people do it where the 9th candle shamas is in the center of 2 sides, right? If that happens, right, it becomes a division. So how do we do that? We put 4 on the left, 4 on the right, we put 1 in the center. There's only 8 days, but the shamas becomes the 9th. Is that the way it was? I have to look back the way it is. I have to look back at the numbers. But each day that you light something up is 24 hours, is 48 hours, is 72 hours. When you get to 96 hours, you have completion. When you get to 120, you've reached the gateway. How do I know? That in the game of pool, right? In the game of pool, you have the 15 balls. And when you go 1 through 7, the first 7 balls, when you add them up, it equals to 28, the cycle of the moon. You add up the 8 ball, it equals to 36. You add up the 9 ball, it equals to 45. You're on the other side. 1 through 7 equals to 28. Then 1 through 8 equals to 36. And 1 through 9 equals to 45. And when you're counting 9, 18, 27, 36, there is no 45 until you reach the ocean. Female, mother. The other thing, it's a fox pass. 666, 2, 5, and 8 in the third trinity. Anything in 4 repeats. Anything in 3, okay, has a rotation. It runs between itself. 1, 2, 3. 4 goes back to 1. I mean, we see it over here. It's the way the cardinal signs work. Oh, I'm out of battery. But the cardinal signs work at 3. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. The 13th cardinal sign is none, but it goes back to 1. So if you go 1, 13, 25, 37, and to note that 37 brings the 360 back to the first position, back into Aries. Aries is split. Let me plug this in right now. Good morning, Michelle. How are you doing? Am I allowed to say everybody's name? Good morning, Cynthia. I'm going to look at the comments now, and I'm going to finish off with sitting on a park bench, right? Like I said, what do you put here? You put the bench on each side, right? Did you see how many feet apart it is, right? I passed by what they call the graveyard. I think they put a V instead of a Y in the graveyard. And I saw all these down with the Capricorn stone. They want me to yeah, so just give me a minute. I'm running into the house for something to drink. Very, very, very quick. And yeah, just 1 second. I just have to, I want to bring back the dog treats. I'll be just one basic minute. And I don't have to plug in my phone. I'm going to leave a different background on here. Let me see which background I should put up here. Maybe I'll put up this one. Well, I don't know why. I think I'm getting a bad reception. I think I'm going to have to move spots. In fact, I think I'm going to move spots. I think I have to move spots. I'm not getting a good reception. My phone is closed down on me. So just give me 1 second. I think I'm going to go onto the balcony. It serves nothing here. I have no plugs. My business is not good. So just give me 1 minute. Okay, let me pick this up. Yeah, we're making a move. We're making a move, okay? We're making a move. I have to move this. Just give me a minute. We're making a move. We're making a move. The pen that works, the pen that doesn't work. The pig pen. You know what I'm saying? The pig pen. Why the pig pen? Why the pig pen? PEN, the proton, the electron, the neutron. Okay, so why the pig? The proton, what is the R and I, right? We all know what R and I is, right? R and I is everywhere. It's the full connection in the Trinity. 1 between 2 equals to 3. Where's the 2? What's the 1? Is the 1 the plug that plugs in, connects the 2 houses inside the generator box? Have we transferred the energy onto a singular moon and blocked out the other 2 moons? Because if 1 is between 2, right? Come on, baby, let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. It's a trick and not a trick at the same time because I'm going to give you one. So 1 between 2 equals to 3, right? Pretty simple. You're going to connect by putting that park bench between the 2. So when they're talking about a pirate and walking the plank, right, they put a singular moon between the benches. They put it up as a cross. You see them all over now. They're everywhere, right? They call them the 5G, right? 5G is a representation of both the male and the female. How do I know this? Ask me when I come back. We're on a 5-minute break right now. I'm going to be plugging some stuff in, okay? Perhaps putting the dogs into the house. I'm getting a new area, my new house. Just hold on a second over here. Let me plug the phone in. And let me put my rack back up. Yeah, can't do anything without a rack. See, I got a rack behind me. Not sure if you can see that rack. See my rack I built? Here's a rack. Anybody ever see a rack like that? It's the best. Hold on a second. How can I show my rack off? Look at that. Like that? It's my rack. Okay. Let me put this up here. I'm going to take like a 5-minute break or maybe a little less. It's pig is the pie. Yes, pig is the pie. It's yes, absolutely. Pig is the pie, a pig pie, absolutely. We can talk about the thumb. Tom thumb, right? Tom is Trinity. You can plug this thumb in and these are going the other way. I mean, take a look. This is the natural effect. My hand by my side. My hand by my side. I want to put my hand that way. Hey, listen to me. You're my hand and I'll say what you'll do. Wow. Unbelievable. I tell it all the time. And then I lift my hand and I want to put it this way on me, but it won't let me. It's showing me pain. It won't let me stretch out to it. The entire universe of words, algorithms are exactly that. Oh yeah, we're gonna give him a treat right now, and I'm gonna take my own treat. I have to meet the teacher to get some more information. So to share with you, I share it freely from the bottom of my heart, okay? Because corrections, what do I mean by corrections? It's, we're gonna start to see, like if you want, do you like Bugs Bunny? Do you like any children's shows? Your kids watch children's shows, you're a child, you watch a children's show, although this is for 18 and over. Well, if you like to watch children's shows, it's time to wake up and watch the stupidity that's going. No more excuses why this and that is done. No more excuses. Become professional thinkers. Money has been printed forever. The money is printed forever. We all know we're the laborers. It didn't take 1 cent for me to come here. Nobody paid me to come here. Nobody's paying me to go home. Nobody paid me to walk the dogs. Nobody paid me to do the dishes. Nobody paid me to wash the floors. Nobody paid me to make my bed. Nobody paid me to wash my clothes. Nobody paid me at all. And no one's paying me now. So why am I going to take my money and give it to somebody else? Because I need roads. Great. I need this. Great. Let me see the budget. Why won't you show me the whole budget? You don't show me the whole budget, therefore it's a secret. Anything that's a secret, whoosh, out. No secrets here, right? Everything that's being done has to be typed out, and everybody should be seeing what's on, except for the table talk of what the people are talking about, right? And the discretion of choosing is going to be based on the logic of the numbers. Okay? Why? Because it's in this game. I don't have reality. I'm not outside in the world with everybody else. You came into a game. Together, we're creating a perfect world within the game. Back to the Sims. But in this Sims game, we're going to work with gematria. We're going to work with what they gave us. And we're going to see how we can correct it. From the sun coming up in the morning to the moon settling in at night, even if you don't see it. It's all in the cards. We're going to restructure everything and see how the system was set up. Here, it's liberal. Here, it's conservative. Here, it's this. But you know, during a 24-hour period, 7 days a week for your lifetime, it has to be a little bit of everything. Sometimes you say yes, like I know apparently the logic of God is like this. Give me all the rights to know everything. The option to choose and to do the right thing by understanding the difference. By not teaching to understand the difference, you cannot prepare for what you don't know. And why should we know? Because nature will tell us anyways. Nature is not always fair. Even if they're causing nature to be angry, even if they're telling us about nature, how bad it is, and because of this and because of that, and blaming everything. Nature is nature. Right now, in this house, it's nature at its best. Create a game. Go to Roblox. Create a game. Show us about the worst you can do at nature. But create it that way where you can logically explain why. There's more of this in the air. There's more of that in the air. Do you know that in each and every one of us, on a minute level, right? What happens in your heartbeat between the going up and the going down? Is anything stopping? Is anything going on break? My ears hear everything, but I do not know what it says, but I know it's telling me something because I'm listening. I do know that if those who are musicians or who know about musical notes and frequencies will tell you what the wind is saying, will tell you what the electricity's wires are saying. In fact, they have machines to measure all of this right now. So we basically can put together a complete game through sound, through vision, in gematria, through the understanding of all the concepts of the planet, adding in the games. I was talking about parish and a bench, and now I'm going to take my break. And after the break, I'm going to be spending 2-3 minutes of silence just to look over the words. You was called, yes. Now, you was called and you were called. So I want to look at the two of those. I'm going to look at the two of those. Good morning. Be back in a minute. Let me put these biscuits away. Come in. Okay, I'm back. So let me go down here and see what we have for comments because I haven't checked anything out. I'm here an hour. I know we're only one person left. So I'm going to check what went on just for the video itself, even though there's nobody here, one person. Well, there could be more. Okay, just want to see what's going on. I see all your names. I'm saying hello, but I'm going to come back on a little bit later. It's going to answer the question, why is 6 afraid of 7? Their mirror. You know, there's a lot of trolls that run around saying certain things, have certain names just so you can say their name, you know. And that's why I don't say some of the names. I'll just say Avatar T or Avatar S. So if your name starts with a T or an S, I'll say your name. Yes, full of fishes, yes. Yes. Angelfish 3933, the trinity of the angel within the fish. The angel spreads its wings upon the bench, reaching the 2 Capricorn headstones, okay, upon the houses. They call that the gravestone. And then they Dr. Gravestone in Jumanji, right? So we're gonna have to use that game again. Yes, they tore us up, Taurus, right? The Taurus field, you know. What I saw is a Taurus field this way, 2 of them, and then there's the twirling ones that come this way or this way. I don't know if it's by sound. Yes, yes. Yes, 315 A. So this is ACD, like an ACDC. You know, when I read the word in religion, I already know the E and I. The E is the it's almost like putting your TV like on a screen, and then you can move it back and forth. That's 1. Or you can put it fixed by using 2. 2 makes it fixed. 1 can create a swivel. 1 creates what is all around. 2 creates what's on the inside or living on the edges, living outside where the legs are on the chair. You're on the outside. These are the numbers that are not inside the game. You can be sitting this way on the bench. You can be sitting this way on the bench. But regardless of where you are in between the legs, you take the 3, the 4, and the 5 position because we're running it at par. There's no eagle, or the eagle is hidden, okay, on a par 3 as a hole in 1. Right? Hey, hole in 1. No one says the eagle. You know what I'm saying? But really and truthfully, it's 200 par. It's automatically an eagle, right? Whoop, I just jumped over a whole bunch. I'm just reading off the comments right now. So that's another thing. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I know. Listen, get off the poopster, they say, right? And then we go back and we say, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, the Cincinnati Reds of the 70s. They call them the Big Red Machine. The other red machine they also called happens to be where the other side of the world, right? They call it in Quebec. They call it Shin
right? But they also say, when they talk about machines, they'll go machine. Okay, so they're talking about how China is a machine where it is controlled by the AM, the Grand Master, right? The AM. When you read the Psalm, the PS, ALM, or whatever, however you want to talk about it, it's big time AM. You wake up in the AM. A through M is 13. 1 through 13 is 91, which is an average of 7 by 13 equals to 91. 91 is not 91 alone the way it is. It is what is 11 and what is 80, but it's not 80. It's 4 by 20, 420, 420 THC. The teacher comes within the house. Everything after 4th all the way to 20th, but not 21, which is at the end of the realm, right? Because it's a corridor between 1 and 2. What is, between 1 and 3, where 2 is inside the corridor. So 21 is 1 and 2, 1 between 2 equals to 3, and let's begin from the cube at the 22, the tav, the 2 elephants, the Hebrew, the last Hebrew sign, 22 plus 1, aleph, splitting the house, equals to 23 chromosomes, and since you split the house, it's 23, 23, 46, 1 to connect, equaling to the 47, and now we reconnect. Trump has reconnected that window. Not by his choice, but because of the name. Donald Trump represents, okay, the constellations. It represents what is 4242. 4 times 2 is 8. Venus is what is 2. Taurus is what is 2. The mother is on the outside of the house. I'm not sure if it's only 2, 4, 6, 8, or is it 2, 4, 6, 8 and 2 and 1, 3? Is it 2, 4, 6, 8, 2 and 8, 10, 1 plus 0, 1? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of combinations that come together. Yes, the gooseneck, the yellow feet of the chicken, the orange feet that come together for the orange hair, okay, which is red and yellow, the soul and the spirit coming together in the corridor of DC. DC is a single corridor of the E-world that we live on the cross. We've come to the crossroads, ending in 1998, which is 666 times 3. The reason for all these numbers missing, okay, is because we're running on a timeline that's running inside a timeline. Right? These are their numbers and how they match up. So a cube ends on 33. So the void part of the cube. So the total part of a cube of 36 is 666. Right? So where am I with this? Yes, so what happens is we get 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 is 18 and 9, 27. Plus the 3 equals to 30. 30 plus 98 is 2028. But in Hebrew time, it ends at the end of the year of 2027 in October, ends the cycle in the month of Tishrei. We can't end it until we've reached the second heart of the zodiac in Tishrei, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Virgo, right? I'm not sure what month it is. And then we go through the portal and we end up with 7, the mirror. So let me see what's on here. Duck, duck, goose. How's everybody doing? Does anybody... Oh, the dogs are in the house. Oh, the dogs aren't in the house. Yeah, the dogs aren't in the house. The dogs are... Just trying to see, how do I get that? Here's the background, and the dogs are... I can't even figure out how to get it off. Yeah, I just want to get that off. I can't even get it off. Hold on a second. I can't even see. Just give me a minute. You think the dogs are quiet? Ozzy, you quiet? Almost looks like I'm touching him. Tiki, 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 tiki. Right? Almost looks like I'm touching him. Right? Almost looks like I'm touching him. Right? Yeah, you guys quiet? Hot out, eh? I should probably go in there to parasol. That's what they call it, a parasol. So why are they calling an umbrella a parasol? Is it because it goes all around the pole? But yet the pole is on that end, right? The pole's on that end. It goes up this way, and then it covers out, covering up the pole that's at one end, but stretching its outstretched arm. So if I have 2 of these, and because of the running water that goes off, you can see there's a separation in between. Any separation is a heart line. And for those who have heard of yin and yang before, how about saying yin and yang? How about saying ying and yan and keep moving the G letter? Right? We're going to move the G letter. Right? So we're going to have 25, 34, 48. And then we're going to have yan, which is 26, 40, 47. And then we're going to get ying, which will be 55. And then yan is going to be 1540. So we get 48, 47, 95. We get 40, 55, 95. Now this one is going to be 86. So the difference between the two, when it's this one, it's E and I. When it's this one, it's through the seventh gate. Here is 6, 7, and 8. Okay, this is going to be part of the vibration. What is 4 and 6, 10, 3 and 7, 10, 2 and 8, 10? Between 5 and 9, 2 fire signs. Here, I had 2 fire signs, but they are what is 8 and 6 to the 7th gate. What is like 6 is like 8. The octagon and the hexagon, they both equal to 14. What did I do? I added them to a single digit. I also know these are the power gates to the 88 constellations to the power of the Christ. This will be 5 and this will be 7. It'll be located in the moon. 8 and 8 equals to 7. And 7 and 7 equals to 14. 1 and 4 equals to 5. The 7 will be the male, and the female will be the 5, or the feminine side. And this is where the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah come in. Does everybody follow me with this? Does everybody know what's going on? Does anybody know what I talk about? Does anybody need reference for the words I speak? So, when you're on the park bench, let me just see where I was here. So, sitting on the park bench, baseball. Is it a summer sport? Well, ball is 27, base is 27, 27 and 27 equals to 54. Call it a summer sport. And I see what's coming because of right in the city near I live, in the hometown I was born. It made the news again. So I know things are close. The standard of the SNS comes together. Anyways, regardless of that, park bench, baseball, on deck circle. So what it is when you put the bench down on top of the individual cement pieces, they do the same thing at the grave. They put it down, then they put the headstone. Now they have the headstone and the Capricorn stone. So at this point, I'm thinking of Leo, right, for the headstone. And it's the headstone of Capricorn. I don't know how to express this, but with all this said, the name that goes on, okay, is your name is all Aries. And when you go into the court under judgment, it's we all rise. All, LL, okay? When you say all, I don't see it as all. I look at it as A11, coming birth into the house of Bait. Right? But what 11 is that? Is it a 3 and 8 11, a 4 and 7 11, a 6 and 5 11, or a 2 and 9? The 2 and 9 has been reserved. for those of the soul. The originators, okay, or the ones who split the house, the ones that hold the harmony, number 29, black. To where we revert into the seventh gate, the Gimel, okay? 7 equals 65, 3 equals to 56, Wolf equals to 56, okay? And when you add on 23 to 56 Wolf, you get 79, the mother. You don't only get 79, the mother, 65, okay, is white. So now we have the white wolf. Horse is also, so now we have the white horse or the wolf. If you add on ER to this, you now reverse it to the flow or the flower. The flower comes from the wolf, and this is where the USB dimetric comes in. USB dimetric. The cube, switching over the systems. They switch over the systems by 2020. The cube is noted to be what is 1520. What is why? The smallest side of the cube, or what is Yahtzee or Yum, is 1 through 5 equals to 15. You can't have the sixth side because it's sitting on its buttocks, and that will be 2 through 6. The totals of each one will be 15 and 20. And that is the cube coming together between the male, the feminine, the masculine, of the bat mitzvah and the bar mitzvah, noting that bat and bats are noted to be upside down, so they flip the switch, they flip things around. Mars has 2 moons. We do not work with 1 moon. We work with 2 moons. The singular moon is in between the Capricorn stones that connects the park bench, so we can connect the 2 houses, so we can speak to the mother in the broader system. The mothers, Mars, Hagar, Rachel, Abraham, crossing the seas. You know what I said about the sea before, right? It's 1 times C. A C note is 100. So when you have 9 C notes, you will have what is X1. So all of these symbols and stories and transfers of money and different ways to say things, it's just one piece to tell just the greatest story that is ever told, your truth. Right, it's the alphabet truth. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Michael Jackson comes alive because we're going to be doing the moon dance. You know, this is very exciting, a very exciting time for me that I went through 20 years of my life, and the first 10 of them, okay, between 41 and 51, right, which is the house gate of the sun, was treacherous. There were creepy crawlers crawling underneath the skin of the element. But the element didn't stop because it already saw the truth. And when you know the truth, you don't stop. And when we fix the system, when the system gets fixed, most of us won't even notice because we're going to be doing the ones doing the fixing, and it takes time. But you're going to see things falling down like in Bugs Bunny. I'm not saying all the words because I don't want to, because it's only a vision or a prevision of how I see the system running right now, and they have to come here, and it has to look like cartoons, where or what's his name there, Elmer Fudd is running after Bugs Bunny, and then we have the chicken hawk, and he wants the chicken to get out of the barn, and then we have Jean-Jacques Chalac. Anybody know that one? That's the one that's coming at the end. That's the tribulation. Do you know that? You know, Wi-Fi was taken over by Bugs Bunny when he replaced the Roadrunner. Right, burning up the sky. You know, Roadrunner burned up the sky, replacing an understanding for the fire signs. Therefore, it was a bird and not a rabbit. 33 versus 52. The S, because they pluralized our connection. You already know it's from one side to the other. It's R and R, 18 and 18. It runs the plane of the park bench. You run across the park bench, it's 18 and 18. You connect the in-between of the branch with yourself. You become the 18, the 18, and the 18, 54. Your birth is of the sun. The GD, and when they say the word association to dog with a DG with no O, the tiré, or the separation, means I am whole between what is D and G, between the half-life and the whole life. I am 1.5 times more of what I am. I am 90 seconds, 90 minutes on the clock for every minute that passes on by. Recalculate your time. I have been reduced to 60 seconds and 60 minutes and 24 hours. Unlike they tell us about the 360 degrees. Therefore, we're 1.5 times the circle less than what we should be at 540 degrees. Is what should capsulate it all. The numeric value to the sun and to the mother is 54. Double that up for 108, and you compromise the whole house into something that's only 1/3 of its true value. 2 times 54, 3 times 36, 4 times 27. This is where the alphabet comes in, and the house is 108. It's a split sun. October, octagon. The 280th day, or the 10th moon, comes into October. That on October 15th, right? October 15th is the 288th day of the year. And that is the split of the lower house. 288 and 288 is 576. If you multiply it by 2, you reach the year 2000. Should I say it again? 8 days after the 10th moon of the year, which actually starts prior in the year before. I mean, in the December, but we're going to start at January 1st anyways, on the 288th day, not counting the leap year. Otherwise, it would be October, 14th, right? You should check out that day, right? You should check out that day. But the first time you can arrive, is only after 20, when you reach the Trinity, walking through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and so on to Trinity. And that's where the corridor begins. 5760 is the year 2000. It's what is 4 times 1440, 1440 minutes in a day, to what is 144. You can even do the 144 minutes if you want. We can do that too, right? We can do a lot of things. We still didn't finish with the hexahedron, the communication between the right and the left hemisphere. I can even show you this in games. We spoke about the flower, right? But when you read it backwards, part of it says wolf. We spoke about the parish, and I spoke about golf. Why? Because if you're playing for par, when you go play golf, it's a par 3, par 4, par 5. When you have a 1 bogey, you reduce that to, if you get a bogey 6 and you want to reduce it to an eagle, you have to go to 4. If you get a bogey 7 and you want to get an eagle, you connect 7 over to 5. These are just different ways to understand our connections, even though they don't exist and it's a bogey. But your bogey has to connect these words in order to, how can I say this? And first of all, 7 and 5 do connect, and 6 and 4 do connect. Your 7 and 5, 12 is the numeric value for connecting to 12, the complete zodiac. The first 6 numbers, the second 6 numbers, connected through 1 number, equaling to 616. 6 and 1 is 7, to 1 and 6 is 7. And this is how your 12 zodiac signs. It seems like 14, but it's not. It's just a 12. We don't count the 1. That's the connection. You know, when you're playing the game, how many players? You count them out, you say 9. What about yourself? Yeah, and when you start off a word, stop. No need. I'm going to put you in the house. There's no need to bark. There's no need to bark. I know you can't stop it. It's that ice cream drooling down your mouth, that ice cream just flowing, those vegetables that you just ate for breakfast. I saw you eating the vegetables, the trees, the flowers. I saw you talking to people. Nobody was talking back. I know you're not happy. No one's talking to you. I know you want to talk to the other dogs, but you don't come home on time. You don't listen to the schedule. I have to feed you and clean your poop. I don't know where you are. If no one takes care of you, who's going to take care of you? Wow. I can't believe it. He said the babysitter. He says, you can go home. He says, every time you leave, somebody else shows up. He says, what do we care? He says, we eat, we poop, they clean it up. You know, my respect. You know that they'll come in here and they'll put muzzles on you both, eh? That's what they did to me. They put a muzzle on me. I say the wrong word on here. That's it. No more social media. Even the crow is telling us that story. Hey, you tell him. You tell him, Big Bird. That's right. So when you have a two-letter word, okay, it equals to a reverse alphabet. Each letter reverses, okay, to 27. It's A1, Z26 equaling to 27. That's the reverse alphabet. We can do the same thing with the Aztec calendar. That when you go 260 days, you're going to go either 1 through 260 equaling to 261, but since we're talking with tens, we're going to go 10, and that'll make 270. So instead of it being what is 260, it'll now be 10 and 260 equaling to 270, which is 3 times 90, okay? Or what can be 3 times 91 equals to 273, or what can be 3 quarters or 75% of something that is whole. So if we were talking about 3 suits in the deck of cards, right, I would have a total of 39 cards. Angel equals to 39. 52 cards is a whole deck, so 39, okay, is going to be equal to what is 3 quarters, so it equals to what equals to 3 by 13, right? The average of that, okay, is to 13 is what is going to be 7, but on the third level, it's 21. So if I check this out and see if I have if there's anything that's right about this. Hold on a second. I'm just going to turn on my phone. We're going to be ending. I don't know if we're going to end this, if I should stay longer, but once I pass it, I don't want to be in that hefty traffic in the afternoon, you know what I'm saying? After what happened yesterday in our beautiful advanced city of ours where we get another flooding. Every year we get another flooding. I'm going to blame it on this. I know it's the fault of this. This is the fault. We have to blame it on you. You're not sucking in enough and I'm pumping out too much. It's me against you. What do? Right? We don't want to hurt nature, right? So we're just going to have to, just hurt the thing that needs the nature first. When you get in an airplane, they start to fly, the first thing they do is they say, save yourself first, right? So if you're going to save yourself first, how do you do that, right? The air mass comes down. When the air mass comes down, right, what happens? You automatically ignite between the jet and yourself. You become the Sagittarius 9 birth, or are you the Libra? You're the one that needs the air. So you become a Libra in your breath. You connect to Gemini. So is Libra... So as Libra, okay, the breath, what part of the breath is Libra? Balance that comes within Gemini. It's been a rough day. It's the woofer in your speaker coming out with a tweeter. Remember that. Maybe that's what the sign was. Yes, analog, yes. Yes, so there's also ships with Anna in it, and this is going to be talking about the sun. Keeps telling me we're inside some sort of sun ship, and sunship, censorship. The lower house, did I do that right? So what we do, first of all, it's basically all about that. See, there's more. Yeah. It's right here. It's right here. You know what? Look at that. Look at the cut. The light. Look at the light. And I can cut it out. What do you see, what you don't see with that little bit of black, eh? Can you see the brick? Can you see the brick? Hold on a second. Can you see the brick? Right? See the I? That's the 9th letter. And the H. So the I and H come together. It's whether you have the brick above that brings the information to the one within, to the brick below. Fully connected between the bricks, 17Q. You want to, let's see if we can find the dog? You want to go inside the house? Because the other one, is over there. What's going on? You have a kiss for me? Yeah, I think maybe they're a little tired. I'm going to see if I can put them in the house. You guys want to go in? Come. Come. It's the only time it reminds me of McDonald's when the dogs go into the house and I get a break today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not breaking any eggs. So, yeah, so when you count what I mentioned to you, the 3921, is what it is it's 6, 7, 8, 9 equals to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. But when you start the connections, right? 1 and 6, 7, 3 and 4, 7, 2 and 5, 7, that's 21. But 6 and 7, 13, to 9 and 4, 13, to 5 and 8, 13, that's 39. That's 39 and 21. 60 seconds on the clock. Let's begin the game. So everything has been broken down to a perfect alignment. Sitting on the park bench, 3, 4, and 5 equals to 4, 4, and 4. 4, 4, 4 times 2, 888. 44 times 2, 88. 4 versus 3, same corridor into the E world. 444 by 4, 1776. We're 1771, right? And 1771 and 1776. 71, 76, 71, 76. Okay, I don't want it to, it's okay, it creates what is sky pass, 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals 42. Let me just mark that out. 1771 is what is 8 and 7, and 8 and 7 equals to what is 15, equals to what is 15, 6 and 6. I'll show you the first one. If I can find it myself. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 7 and 8. 7, 8, 7, 8, 15, 1 and 5 is 6. But it's also going to be 6 and 5. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5, 6 and 5. I'm showing it to you this way first because that's the way they do it. Right? They do it first that way in gematria. Most of the people in numerology just add it up. Nobody does any of the other work. That's where the difference between me and them is. And I think if we all associate together to understand the equations that go along with creation, so we can, so we can all take a good look at it and say, you know what, this is impossible. This place we're living, this is all created. They can say man-made, but the breath I take, I didn't create that breath. You know what I'm saying? And if I did, eh? So the next piece in here is where is it? Oh yes, and we said 1776. So what happens? It's 42 and 13 equals to what is 29 and 55. So 7 times 6, 7 plus 6. Add it and subtract it. 29, Electric Company Waterworks. 29 in the House of Bait, the 2 moons. This is black 29, yellow 92, sky pass over here. 55, add 1 through 10. It equals to 55. So now we have a revelation, an understanding for what is 10. 1 through 10 is 55. And then 1 through 11, okay, is going to be 66. And the 5-5 is connection to the I, is the first connect. It comes to the connect. You need to put the fuse in order to connect it, and that fuse is 6 and 6, where 5 connects to 7, where 7 connects to 5. I'm going to see if we can get this one out of here. I got to line up some of my stuff so I can find it a little bit easier. We'll do it this way. I've never done it this way in explaining before, but I'm going to do it this way. So what it is this number 7 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the 6th area, there's a band throwing over the 6th area. When the band comes over the 6th area, over here you have the 5th area over here. You have to go through the 5th area, through the 6th area, into here. When you go through the 6th area, you're moved around the band. You move around the band here, 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 and here. This is Monopoly. This is Central Station. When you count up in area space, although Monopoly is 40, when you create the smallest of the biggest you can to the rectangular properties, you can see 2 by 2 and 1 by 1. You can see 76 is the band that goes around the heart. There are 169 area spaces, or a board that takes up 13 by 13, or exactly the 13 moons, the 13 cards, where 13 is 076923 times 13, or times whichever number you want, but times 13 will be 999,999. We're the ones who make it rock and roll. Your breath. I can show you all these connections, and only together our belief will say that's the truth. Just give me a minute. Okay. How's everybody doing? Yes, 5775. Anybody like to come up? Anybody have any questions? I haven't looked down below yet. So that's basically the first thing I'm eating today. 5775. I'm also working on the understanding of the aether, fire rat, metal rat, water rat. Rat is number 39. Angel is number 39. 3 is 1/3. 9 divided by 3, or 3 divided by 9 is 3. 9 divided by 3. Is that the way it works? 9 divided by 3 is 3.333. Three divided by 9. The pig's pregnancy, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. What's 4 divided by 9? The rotation is 111. The heart of 36 is 11111, but in the decimal points. So all they have to do is move everything over to the decimal point. The cube, the dice cube. If you take a look at it or drill holes through it, you'll see that every single side will have at least 5 holes. 2 of the sides will have 7. Anything to do at 2, okay, is going to be for the house of bait. Anything to do at 1 It's going to connect the heart of the house of 8 to the two houses. 7 is not the same as 7 is an odd number and 5 is an odd number, are not the same as the other numbers. If you use 9 numbers over here, where's the heart? If you call this the heart, call this one number in between all, or count the 8 on the outside and count this as the 9th, or count it as the 5th area. So 1, 5, and 9, 3 fire signs. We run 2, 3, and 4 inside of 5. We run 6, 7, and 8 inside of 9. If you notice, we're running it by 2s. If you notice it, we're running it by 4s. This way is twice this way. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, passage of the 7th gate. They put a cross in between and separated the odd numbers, right? What number should have been here? The furthest separation is here. Check a whole area of space for 1. But Trinity, okay, is between 2, 3, and 4. And then the quadra is between 1 and 5, right? Between 1 and 5 is your 2, 3, and 4. Whoa, there's a little bug coming down the wall. I don't really like these things. I mean, that's like that. So does this defy gravity or what? Where is it going? What is it listening to? What does it hear? What does it need? Why is it here? There's got to be a 10,000 legs on this thing, right? Anyways, yeah, the other thing is, look, here's your eye, right? And then if you want, they're big bricks, right? So here's the 2. So here's the 2, but when you pull the brick back, here's another 2, but we can go on this side. Here, I can do the 5, but look at the 5 where it starts here. I pull it all the way to here, drop it to here, drop it to here, and put it all the way to here, right? That's a huge 5 over these. We can also call it the dog, and I can walk the steps. Notice the way this one is punched over twice. I didn't do the code on this one yet. I like to do the code on this, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe when I'm here for the end of the month for the holiday, I'll do the brick code. Oh! Whoa! I can even do it here. Spill coffee. Oh, no. And now you know. Now you know the difference between water that was white and now the water with a little soul inside of it, the coffee. COF. 3, you know what COF, you know what it all has in common? COFF. 3 is the 3rd letter. O is the 15th letter. 5 by 3 is 15. 2 by 3 is 6. The only one out there is the EE because that connects you to the vibration of the world. And what the E is, it's a combination that creates what the C is. It's a 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3, and 2 equals to 5E. And now you have the word coffee. We can do that for FU too if you'd like. So what we're going to do is I've been out here like a little over an hour, so I'm going to cut it short. I have to come back and I have to go home. I don't want to go home and come back and go home. So it's here and I'm back here on like Wednesday. So I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I know I'm out of time. I have no more battery in this thing. It's going to be 11:11, so I'm going to hang up and either come back soon, shortly, or later. If you have any questions you'd like to help support the channel, it'd be fantastic. If it's, I have a link to PayPal. If it's these books, these are the only ones I use. I got a lot of pens, but they're all at home, so send them to my sisters. I have the Atlantis pens. I like the 1.6, but I like all kinds of difference. I like that they roll properly, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and yeah, I got a lot of stuff to pick up. Anyways, peace and love for now. We'll speak with you a little bit later. Rock and roll, right? Rock and roll.